Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Find Ways to Win. Great to be talking to you guys again. Hope everyone's doing well. You and your families, or your endeavors, or whatever you're set your hand to, and whatever things that are important to you. We want to talk to you about a little simple matter, but not so simple sometimes to implement. The title of this stream is called "Change is Required." Change is required. Now, whatever you set out to do, or whether it be a goal of physical health, or a goal of a financial wealth, or a goal of education endeavors, relationship endeavors, whatever you embark upon, you're going to need to change. You're going to embrace change. Change, for sometimes can be a very very scary word. It denotes that you actually have to do something in order to become someone better, make something better, make something more delightful for your benefits, or those who you serve, or those who you love. That's a great thing. We all should have endeavors like that. We all should have constant endeavors. I believe in that it is more important to constantly reevaluate goals, constant set goals once you achieve them. But understand that in order to walk in what you say you want to get to, whether i.e. your goal, you're going to have to change. Generally, when you start out, you start out a certain way with sometimes your fears, your prejudices, your biases, your thinking that you think that this way has bought you, that will continue to bring you the results. And for some people, maybe their thinking is absolutely on point. Maybe their changes are very very slight, as opposed to other people whose life that they feel are chaotic, and they're really not going anywhere, really not achieving the things they want. Their change is going to be great. They're going to implement massive change right off the bat. So we shouldn't fear change. We should actually embrace it. You must change. People say change with the times, or you got to change according to the situations, or any a number of sayings that are out there, that seemingly some of them can be true, some of them can be not so true. But nevertheless, you're not going to be the same person once you get the goal. Once you get the goal that you are starting out. So let's talk about change. Let's talk about why that is so important. Let's talk about some of the things that are needed in order to help you realize your dreams. Well, number one, you got to acquire more knowledge. Now, know your craft, know what you want, know where you're going, set time limits to get there. We've all heard things like that before, and those are foundational principles, and actually are very, very good, provided that you're implementing those with good, consistent action, good, consistent, positive actions, provided that you're eliminating procrastination, eliminating doubts and fears, which sometimes that's a huge change within itself. I've had to deal with those issues myself, and no matter what how someone often sees the person who has the finished product, they don't know what that he or she did in order to get there. And so I submit to you, they change, they evolved along the way. Now, I don't want you to think of change as like something that boom, you just gotta embrace all at one time. One of the best way I found, and one of the most effective way I found, is to do it in small increments. Maybe you need to get up at like an hour or two earlier, to do some things to prepare for your day, to meditate where you're going that day, to meditate on the things that you want. Maybe you need to see a successful outcome. If you're at the top of your game, well, you can go higher. And you need to read more. Maybe you need to get around some right association. Maybe you need to break the status quo that you're in, because sometimes success can actually be an enemy to you. If you're constantly winning, and you're constantly succeeding in endeavors, great. But sometimes that could take the edge off of you. Sometimes that could take the hunger off of you. That's why you need to constantly set new goals, new realms of achievement, new levels of achievement, and all that involves change. Change is so vital, ladies and gentlemen. I think it is the work. A good, or should I say, a good part of the foundation of the work. Because if you want it, you're gonna have to move in a way to become it. And how do you move in a way to become it? Well, first of all, how's your thinking? Let's get that straight. Let's definitely go ahead and get that straight. How you think is the genesis of everything you will achieve. You can't achieve great things but by thinking in wrong ways. You can't achieve momentous things and thinking that you're seeing yourself small or seeing yourself inadequate. You can't really get hooked up on the circumstances or the fact that things haven't evolved as fast as you want. You're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to have plans, and sometimes often it's great to have a written plan, and often it's great to incorporate people who are already at the level you decide to be, and sit and listen with them, listen to them rather, and learn how they have become what they have become. And the conversation is going to be a little different. They want to know, first of all, what do you want? Second of all, what's your plan to achieve it? Third, how much time are you going to commit to achieving this goal? And six and I'm sorry. And finally, they're going to want to know, are you doing consistent actions to do it? Well, you got to talk to yourself like you're both the audience and you're the listener and you're the interviewer and you're the executioner of all these things, because it starts with you. Everything that you want to achieve starts with you. You are the constant in the matter. You are the one that is the foundation of everything that you want to do. So let's talk about some things like that. Maybe you wanna build a great home-based business. Maybe you see yourself building a great global business, and you can go on the sandy beaches of the world, as I often heard that saying. You can travel where you want. You can be able to spend time the way you want to spend your time with the loved ones you want to be with, and just money is not an issue. Well, that would be somewhat defined as a financial goal. So if we now that we have that broken down, what are you doing to ensure your finances are you're working a job? Great. How's your savings? Are you living on less than you earn, or are you a frivolous spender? Are you a spontaneous spender? Do you just get things because it appeals to you, as opposed to what it can do for you? How does spending your money for this item help you? How does it help you get to your financial goal? Saving certainly will help you get there. A discipline will certainly help you get there. You can't spend everything you make, ladies and gentlemen, or even more than what you make, and expect to have financial freedom. You can't do that. They are opposed. They are opposite opposed to each other. That's just like a fish trying to live on a mountain. The environment is not conducive for what they're trying to do or who they are. So we can look at little practicalities. So, if we start off with financials, how's your budget? Do you know your monthly net income? Do you know what you're bringing in? Do you know your monthly expenses? Have you got that down to a T? Okay, now that you understand that, you see how the cards on the table. Let's go ahead and expand ways that we can make more money. Subsequently, it can be the health goal. Have you got a bad report from the doctors, or do your body is not optimized like it needs to be? And why is that important? Because you're going to need energy to accomplish these goals. What good is working yourself to the bone and deprive yourself of much needed rest and much needed nutrition at times, and the calmness of mind when you're trying to achieve something, and because you need peace in order to walk in that. And so everything is connected together. Do you see yourself fit, healthy? Do you see yourself thinking real sharp and clear at all times? or are you one of those individuals that needs some stimulus to get you going, and some stimulus to keep you going, and some things to throttle you down where you can rest your mind because you can't shut your mind down. All those things are gonna go against you if you're not properly disciplined in order to know where you're going, to know what you're trying to achieve. We can also talk about relationship goals. How's your communication skills? Do you want better relationships? Learn to listen better. Learn to listen to hear, not listen to speak or interject your viewpoint in what someone else is talking. Take the totality of the information that you're hearing, and then formulate plans to see first, how can this apply to me? How can, with this conversation is going two ways. They're telling me something about what's happening in their lives. I'm thinking about what's happening in my life, where or some experience that happened in my life where maybe I can give them a better answer in regards with what they are actually going through. See, ladies and gentlemen, everything is connected. Our life really is a big circle. Everything is connected, and everything involves other things. You can't have good relationship goals without having good health goals. You can't have good health goals without having good financial goals. Now you say, well, Fitzgerald, I beg to differ on that. Okay, how are you going to have good financial goals if you don't have the energy, you don't have the strength, you don't have the peace of mind in order to think in new ways, in order to save time, to do things better, to achieve things more in an effective way? If you just keep doing the same status quo, the status quo is gotten you the results of where you are right now, myself included. We all have to change. Change is required every day, all the time. If you achieve something, okay, great. Let's start by building on it. You may be at a stage where you don't really like yourself, don't really think that you're doing anything effective. You may even think that your life is a waste. It's not. It's not a waste. Your mind has brought you to that point that you feel that you're unproductive, and you feel that your life doesn't matter. That's your mind. You can make these small little micro steps. So, for one, positive affirmation, talking to yourself, talking out loud. Nothing wrong with talking to yourself. Nothing wrong with visualizing where you're going. Nothing wrong with incorporating the counsel of other effective people who love and care for you, and who will, more importantly, be truthful to you, to let you know that, hey, you're missing a mark, or you need to do this, or you need to do more of this because you're on the mark, or this is not something that you should engage in. This is a fruitless activity. And so we look at ourselves and compare ourselves to others, which is a recipe for disaster. Some person can seemingly be very, very successful in one area, but they just really like the way that how you keep your physical appearance. They like the way how you're able to talk to people, how you're able to inspire people, how you're able to inspire others, and they have something about you that they may admire, just like you have something about them. So we all make a difference. We all make a difference, but I want to talk to first about making a difference in your life where you can be effective in what you want to do. When I started out years and years ago about achieving certain goals, and I had them, and I achieved that goal. I was much younger, more experienced, less experienced than I am right now. Well, I thought I just had arrived, and so therefore, since I arrived, what good is it to do anything else? Because I didn't understand the importance of setting goals, setting goals, setting goals, setting goals. Each increment increments or levels that you achieve, you have to prepare yourself and change to go to the next level. If you're making $25,000 a year, whatever salary you choose, it's only just a small point of thinking, and just a couple adjustments that you can make that can make you $25,000 a month, or 20,000 a week, or 20,000 to 25,000 a day. It's just a mindset. See, nothing is impossible if you believe it. Nothing is impossible if you can see it. You have to learn how to get out of your own way. You have a book in you that you had on a shelf for several years in your mind, but you don't feel that you need to put pen to paper or write some ideas down. You're never gonna have that book published, and no one's never gonna see it because you're not making the necessary changes to implement the plan of having a book published or whatever your endeavor is. Ladies and gentlemen, you matter. But you have to be real with yourself. You have to be doggone honest with yourself to say, hey, I'm not hitting the mark, or I'm coming less than the mark, and you got to understand why. And you'll find the common denominator is always going to be you. Ladies and gentlemen, there are bad people that do bad things to good people, but you can never let someone get such control over your mind, or you feel like you can't achieve about the scepter of their approval, or you feel like your life is stalled because of someone else. No one stops you but you. No one stops you for you. You are responsible for your attitude. You are responsible for the level of work that you do. You are responsible for how you choose to live your life, how you choose to embrace life, how you choose to think and see life. Are you thinking of life in a positive, or are you thinking of life in a negative? Are you, or worse yet, are you lukewarm? One day you're on, one day you're off, and you'll start making changes when you feel like it. If you ever start thinking about making changes when you feel like it, you will never change, because your change is based on a feeling. Some people get in a situation where everything falls, the bottom falls out, and they're in this rush mode. Now they gotta really move, because they're fearful, or they're panicking, or consequences going to come if they don't move. That's not a recipe to live. You need make changes throughout the day, throughout your month, throughout your year, and you're going to see those little small changes are actually going to equate into something much bigger. And you're going to find that once you get to that goal, you're going to be more confident. You're not going to be the person who you started out, because you can't achieve great goals being the same way that you are. You just simply can't do it. And if you have achieved some of those great goals, hey, I congratulate you. Why don't you set some more goals? Why don't you get out and pour out some of your time and your energy to helping someone else achieve your goal, achieve their goal rather. Why don't you go talk to some of the young people, and let them know that they matter. Why don't you go talk to some people who perhaps have lost their will in their fight, and they just don't enjoy life, and they're going through the motions of things like that. Why don't you show them a little love and compassion, and give them some advice, give them some advice that can help their lives be recalibrating them, get back on cycle. Ladies and gentlemen, see, we're all going to change. We change ourselves, then we can become a part of someone else's change. Don't act like you already got it. There's this adage, fake it till you make it. I don't believe in faking anything. I believe in being real with where the circumstances are, where I am in my life, evaluating from there, formulating where I want to go in life, and then dealing with it from the perspective of dealing with the perspective where I am right now, and knowing I have to move towards achieving something, and knowing I'm going to change along the way. Change is good. Change is good. If you think it's hard, it's going to be hard. If you think you can't do it, you can't do it. And I want to iterate again how very, very important it is not to compare yourself with the success of someone else. Even if you guys started out at the same time, don't compare yourself to anyone, because that, I promise you, is a recipe for disaster. You're never going to win looking at someone else. Often the race is lost because someone turned their head to see how close the person behind them was actually gaining on them. And guess what? They lose touch with the finish line, and it's little wonder that they lose often because they took their goal, they took their mind off the goal, which was to cross the finish line first. What's your finish line? What's your distractions? You got to learn how to block out distractions. You got to learn how to block out the noise. You got to learn how to run your race, not anyone else's race, your race, in order to get where you need to go. Early in the morning, it's such a great time of the day. Generally, it's quiet. Generally, when you're waking up early in the morning, I've learned that's often a call from God, to commune with Him and to fellowship with Him. Perhaps He has some things He wants to talk to you about or share with you that can really shave time off of an endeavor. He can show you how to do things better, to show you how to live your life better. But I assure you that God is not a God who brings stress into your life, but He will bring change in your life. Sometimes He'll bring change in your life, often through circumstances. He'll put circumstances in your life where you are forced to change, whether you want to or not. You can't stay in the same. You can't stay still. You can't just keep staying at the status quo, and then you expect something different. That is foolishness, just to wait around and see something, see if the hope that something poof is going to pop in your hands without you making the necessary changes, without you doing the necessary work, without you feeling like hey, this is hard, and yeah, it's going to be hard. Change is going to be hard. Understand that, because you're going to be fighting you. You're going to be fighting the status quo that you have established with your thinking patterns. I've always done it this way. This is how it's always worked with me, or I never win at anything. I just hope I'll just get by, man. I'll just be good if I get to this level right here, and I'm fine. But what if someone around you is not fine? But fellowship, once you achieve a goal, to have someone to celebrate it with, or working with people who are all on similar goals, that brings a power to it. Generally, when you're around people like that, or they're around you, you're feeding off of each other. But you're reading more. You're cutting off wrong videos, or you're not listening to bad news. You're not listening to stuff that puts oil and grime in your mind and slows it down. You have a clear way of thinking. You have a positive outlook on things. And lo and behold, you're walking in a dream that you wanted. You're traveling over the world that you wanted. But those too much of a good thing can actually become boring. Especially if you're not committed to helping other people achieve some of those good things too. So we have to evaluate where we are in life. Start where you are. Start where you are. Determine where you want to be, and put in the work to do it. Now, if you're serious about that, you're going to make these change whether you feel like it or not. You're going to make these changes because you have to. It is impossible to be great without changing. And you should want to be great. It's nothing wrong with wanting to be great. It's nothing wrong with wanting to be at the top of your game, or one of the top individuals at what you do. It's nothing wrong with that. Hey, the wealth and the recognition and the accolades are going to come along with that decision. But you can turn your life around. You'll be amazed in a short period of time if you implement these changes. Now, some of these changes are going to be massive. Some of you guys have waited so long, and fallen so far behind. You gotta run to catch up. Well, get your track shoes on. Do your leg stretches. Get your breathing right, and start running after what you want. And don't expect the free ride from anyone, especially yourself. Don't sit around and allow depression to grab a hold of your mind. Don't sit around and allow losses to grab a hold of your mind. Don't sit around and allow what people said, maybe a school teacher or maybe an ex, that says something hurtful and harmful to you, and you're still caught up on that is going to neutralize you. That's going to paralyze, and all those things I've gone through, and it's not a good place. It's not something. It's not something you want to be. Oh, believe me, the pharmaceutical industry, they love people like you because they'll medicate the hell out of you. They'll give you a pill for everything. A pill to make you feel better, a pill to bring your emotions down, a pill, to bring your emotions up, a pill to get out of bed, a pill to go to sleep. You can't live your life like that. You can't live your life as a junkie, with outside stimulus. You have to be your own internal compass. Knowing what you desire, knowing what you want, and be willing to embrace change. Tell yourself straight out, I have to change. Tell yourself after that, it's going to be hard, and tell yourself after that, I'm going to put in a consistent work in order to get where I need to go. And you don't know how to do it. Find people who are doing it. Get involved with groups who are doing it. Network. Very, very few things are more costly than isolation. Man, I've learned that from personal experience, because actually, with speaking with people and talking to people and energizing people, I'm actually very, very good at it. But I have this need sometimes that to, at least I told myself this over the years, that I like to be alone. I like to be alone, and I spend tremendous amounts of time alone. And often when I'm alone, for too long, it becomes a prison within itself, because we're as human beings, we're made for relationships. We're made to interact with people. We're made to love on people and have people love on us. We're made to inspire, and we're made to be inspired. But all that's going to come to change. It's nothing to stop you from leaving your home and getting in your car and going somewhere where these people hang out, and going around events, where the energy is going to be different, and you're going to find that, the true you is going to be unlocked, simply because you decide to make a change, to take a shower, to get dressed, to go out, get in your vehicle, and go somewhere where the energy is. Often you're not going to be able to fire yourself off all the time. And I know there's an adage right there, I'm self-motivated. No such thing. No such thing. We're motivated by the fire of others. We're motivated by goals. We're motivated by what we see and what we can visualize and what we want to come and pass in our lives. We're not motivated by motivating ourselves, because yourself can talk to you. I don't feel like going out there today. I feel like just laying around. I don't feel like working on this matter right now. I don't feel like making this video now. I don't feel like writing that book. I don't feel like talking to others. I don't want people to think I always got a problem, and I don't want people to think that I'm needy. I want people to think I got it together. I want people to think I'm strong, I'm tough. I'm looking good, smelling good, doing good and stuff. But inside, and when you're alone, you're suffering. You know that life is not taking you where you want to go. You know that you thought more of yourself, at one time before. You couldn't imagine yourself being in turmoil and mental anguish like you are right now. Why? Because you let the fire go out. You try to ignite yourself. You try to always jumpstart yourself. Sometimes you need people to say, okay, man, it's time for you to get up. It's time for you to get out there and start working. It's time for you to get out there and remember who the heck you are, and stop all this grump and stuff like that. It wasn't anyone's fault that got you in the situation except yours. You made the decision. You made the choices that put you here. Now, if you made the choices that put you here, I got great news for you. You can make the choices that get you out of this. And that's how you got to talk to yourself. You got to have image boards. You got to be able to look at houses or look at nice vacation spots and look at things and see yourself doing great things and going great places. I have wanted to go to Africa for so long. I have a friend, Dinas Amir, who is the owner of the Search for Uru channel, a YouTube channel. Great friend of mine. Been a friend several years. I knew him way before the notoriety with fame, the worldwide fame that he has now, and I literally mean worldwide fame. So he got me into Africa simply simply by simply by talking about it, going there and experiencing. He painted a picture for me, and so I want to go to Africa, man, and I wanted to go to Africa. I had a few countries on board, but I didn't know which one. So all of a sudden it came open that I was able to go to Senegal in May, and I'm telling you, the experience was better than I ever dreamed. When I hit the African soil, I just felt liberated. I just felt alive because I was walking in what I had dreamed. I was walking in what what I was talking about. And how long did I talk about it? For a couple of years. And boom, to walk on those streets of Senegal and St. Louis, Senegal, and Jakarta, the capital, and seeing the culture, and being around the people, and experience that, and being right on the Atlantic Ocean, and experience the clothes and the food and everything, man. I'm like, man, this is incredible. This is a dream fulfilled, and it puts so much power and breath and life in me that I often think about going back, and I'm going to go back. And, maybe not Senegal, but I will go back to going back to going back to another African country, and just cause I want to experience different things in my life. Tomorrow, I'll be, I have missed my birthday. Another year older, and if I would have thought back when I first started out as a teenager back in Alabama, I didn't see myself at the point my life is, but right now. But nevertheless, here I am. Now I can sit around there and everything I can sit around there and complain about it. I can sit around there and mope about it, get depressed about it, but I also can sit around and do things about it. And so I think that if the change has to come with me. It's always involved with me. And you keep just believing. You keep just just embracing things, and watch God begin to open up doors for you that you never thought possible. And I have a listener here I wanna address, and that's Ruby. It's a quote right here, and excuse, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, Ruby. I just want to talk to you just a little bit. Every time I try to build something, something destroys my progress. Okay, so every time I start to build something, something destroys my progress. Well, as goes the spirit, so goes the natural. As goes the spirit, so goes the natural. You need to pray to God. You need to pray to God to reveal you what is blocking that. I experienced that, man. I experienced the frustration that I know exactly 100%. 1000% exactly how you feel. It makes you feel. It makes you feel like, why even try? This thing is going to never come to pass. Well, curses are real, just like blessings are real. We often talk about the blessings all the time, but if we fail to look at the other side of the coin as a curse. It could be a bloodline curse. It could be something that an ancestor opened you up to. It could be something that happened without your even knowledge, or you even knowing, that's affecting you because it's traveling down the bloodline. Well, that can be broken by the blood of Christ. That can be broken easily, just by you confessing out of your mouth the opposite of what's happening to you, and asking God to give you wisdom, and asking God to give you comfort and peace, and asking God to calm your mind, and asking God to open up doors for you. You say you already done it before, keep doing it. Keep doing it. I mean, if you start anything that you start out to do, you once was very, very bad at it. I remember the first time I tried to ride a bike. I remember it very vividly. I crashed into a car wash door, but I'm an expert at riding bikes right now because I didn't quit. God is good. God has ways to bless you. Each and every one of you guys listen to my voice, and you can't even fathom. And I've learned He doesn't necessarily care about your lack of finances. He doesn't necessarily care about your lack of knowledge. He doesn't necessarily care whether you know how to do some things or you don't know how to do other things. But what he does care if that you trust him, and that you believe in him, and that you seek him, and that you ask him, to ask him to open up doors for you, to break chains off of you, to break the mental things that hold you up. And yes, mental things can lead into some very detrimental physical things. This is fact. And but God is good, and He's good all the time. That's how I stand before you in my morning times, which I like to talk to Him and get my mind focused and meditate Him on, because a simple thing. The Word declares, He shall keep them in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on Him. Well, if I have to keep my mind stayed on him, because sometimes I get my mind stayed on me. I don't like the finished product that I get. But you know what? That's why you got to go outside yourself. That's why you got to believe in something greater than you. Man, I'm kind of a little bit longer on this stream, but longer than stream to what I had anticipated. But this message is very important. Change, 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 change. You must change. It is absolutely unequivocally required in order to get where you need to go in this life and the other life to come. You must see yourself as a winner. You must see yourself as a positive contribution to yourself and to this earth. You have to see yourself, because if you can't see yourself as doing something great or being great, why should you be? If you always think about how bad it is, if you always think about the circumstances that's going on, why should you? What qualifies you to walk in success? What qualifies you to walk in peace and prosperity? Many people have overcome the same thing that you're dealing with. I'm dealing with, people on the stream are dealing with, and they've overcome the same thing, and now they sit on the other side. So much so, you would be hard pressed if they didn't tell you to understand this. This is what they went through. Life is good. Life is good. It's a great time to be alive. Don't give up on yourself. Don't think that, hey, the world will be better off without you. Who cares if you're not here? What difference are you making? I want you guys to know everyone is making a huge difference. Many of you on the stream I have never met, but you make a difference in my life simply by the comments, or simply by tuning into the streams. I want to make a difference in your life. I want to tell you, you're going to have to change. I'm going to tell you, you sit down, you make inventory. Okay, where am I? Where am I right now? And you can put it all on paper. And when you write that on paper where I am right now. Then you draw a line towards the bottom, and say, where do I want to be? And then you start taking positive. Don't even write anything negative about yourself. You write positive. What am I? Well, I'm a kind person. I'm a good person. I'm an attractive person. I help people. I love people. I keep my word. I'm true to myself. I'm true to people. I tell it like it is, and I'm not concerned really much about the delivery, as more as I'm concerned about giving truth. I'm a giver of truth, and I'm a taker of truth. I want to have the reputation. Hey, Fitzgerald's going to give it to you the way it is. He's going to be kind. He's going to be kind to you, but he's going to tell you straight. The man is not going to sit there and lie to you just to make you feel good. He's going to let you know if you ask him about what the heck is going on, and what things that has worked for him and how they can work in with you. Some people right now, are envious of what you got, even at the level you think you're not doing anything. They are envious of you. And even some of them even admire you. They're seeing this thing as strength. And no, you're not a piece of iron. You don't need to be strong all the dang time. You're a human flesh and blood being. And so you need people to prop you up, just like you need to prop someone else up. And I found out that's often the greatest way that breakthroughs come through me. I just go ahead and just try to help someone else. in many, many different ways. And no, you're never going to see a YouTube post about what I get, what bag of groceries I bought this person, or how I gave this to this individual, or how what type of money I gave. And you're not going to see me put them online and saying, this person, this person was in this situation, and I alone came out. I'm just an extension of the hand of God. God gives me the resources, I give it back. But here's a funny thing that happens: whatever I give seems to come back to me. I understand that principle. I understand that law, and I understand that I understand that God is a debtor to no man or no woman. What you give will come back to you. It will come back to you sometimes in extraordinary ways. I've often given finances and other tangible things that people needed, only to have the same thing come back to me. Oh, guess what? And more than I gave it out. And so that's what I would encourage you guys: change. See yourself different. See yourself great. See yourself as winning, achieving. See yourself already in that house you want. See yourself already with those relationships reconciled, if they are reconcilable. Sometimes you can easily forgive, and no, I'm sorry. Forgiving is work. Sometimes you forgive, but you may not have fellowship with that person. But nevertheless, you forgive, and you go on with life. Tim McGraw has a song called "Humble and Kind." I guess and I really suggest that you guys listen to it. In one of the verses says, "Don't expect a free ride for no one, and don't hold a grudge." And here is why: bitterness keeps you from flying. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. And that's a supernatural act. A lot of times you need God to even just live his presence through you in order for you to achieve it, because life can hurt, but life can be so great. I mean, I see people, and in my own personal life, I know where they started out from, and I know where they achieved. Two of them come to my mind right now. One's a close friend who has built a multi-million-dollar home networking business. My link is in the chat if you want to become a part of that. Where his whole life has changed for the better, for him and his family, his lovely wife. I see it with a close relative of mine. I know where he started out. I know where he grew up. We grew up in the same home and everything. And to see the level of achievement that man is doing, it's not a jealous bone in my body for those who achieve what they're working for, or good things that happen in their life, because I know mine is soon around the corner. But I celebrate them. I encourage them. Never beat down up on them. Never discount. What the hand of God has done in their lives. Because if God did it for them, He'll do it for me, and He'll do it for each and every one of you guys like that. So change, embrace change, love change, love change, love to embrace the success of others. Ruby, you can just look on the how can you become a part of it. My link is on it's on it with the description as far as this video. You just click on that, or you shoot me an email. I'll get back to you. We can just talk one on one. So in conclusion, guys, I want you to know that every single one of you guys are important. Enough of this destructive self-talk. Enough of this thing that I'm not going to be anybody. I'm not achieving anything. My life doesn't matter. That's actually nothing but a demonic spirit talking to you, making you want to move away from the hand of God, who is the only one that can bring you out of your situation. I don't put too much trust in accolades in man. I've learned that man will disappoint you, and when I say man, I'm talking about me as a man too. I'm a man. I learned that I will disappoint myself if I just solely keep my eyes on myself. You gotta look through the eyes of how can I be a blessing to others? How can I be something? And that, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't take money. That doesn't take anything. Sometimes it can be something as simple as a smile. Sometimes it can be something as simple as listening. Sometimes it can be something as powerful as saying, "I care about you." I respect you. You know how many people who don't care about themselves? And you know how many people would love to hear words like "I love you," "I appreciate you." I seen how far you have become. I see how seen how far you have come, rather, and I see what you are becoming. I like the way you deal with your relationships. I like the way your children smile when they see you. They don't run and they don't fear you. They enjoy when you're home and stuff like that. That is so precious. I like the way that how you talk to your people who are under you, and how you lead them in success. I like how you get right alongside of them, work there, and you don't tell them what to do. You get out there and show them how it's done. I like that they don't fear you. They feel that they can come to you, and talk and how to get the missions because you make yourself available. So much about ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, we take for granted. So much about ourselves that we don't think that we're making a change in people's lives, and we have to, but we are, and we have to realize that we are. If you spend time alone, you spend time thinking on your problems, you're going to forget that. And often that has happened to me throughout the years. So, and I have to deal with that still even now. God has just raised up someone to call me, out the blue, and they'll speak life in me. I had a first cousin of mine call me, and she was, we were just talking. All of a sudden, she started speaking life in me, and I felt real good. I said, "Yeah, I am making a difference." She said, "Fitzgerald, do you know how much these kids admire you up here?" And because they always know you're going to ask them, "Where are you going? What's your plan? What do you want to do?" They always know that you're going to speak life into them and stuff, and they know when you come around, they got to have answers for that question. You are making a big difference to these kids' lives, even though you don't have your own children. You're making difference in people's lives, and you have that reputation. I said, "Really?" I said, "The kids actually listen to me." I said, "Of course they listen to you. Of course they listen to you. They tell us, okay, Fitzgerald's coming right here. You know what he's going to say to us, and you telling him an answer that you don't know. That's not going to be good enough to her." So I like that. So that was a blessing to me. And when you guys give these comments, you're a blessing to me, and hopefully I can be a blessing right back to you. There is moments called sudden moments. There is sudden moments. You can be up under the mountain, and the next moment you can be on top of the mountain. Only God can do that. Only God can do that. You have to let go of what you think you know. You have to let go of the status quo. You have to embrace, because God will require change of you. He will require change of you. God would not just accept you any old way. Do you honestly God think He just put you on this earth not to make a difference? You honestly God think He put you in this time period if He didn't have a plan for you to make a difference? Well, if you don't know what that plan is, just ask Him to reveal it. But you're going to change. You're going to seek His face more. You're going to avail yourself around rightful, truthful people, righteous people. You're going to avail yourself around people who are going somewhere, people who point you in the right directions, as opposed to saying, like, "Hey, let's go to this bar, let's get drunk, let's get this weed, and let's go ahead and smoke and drink and drug and sex the time away." I mean, you may find some temporary relief in that, but in the end, you're always going to pay a bitter price for doing activities like that, because that's not who you are. That's not who you are. You may have a thing you like to please people too much, so therefore you don't change, because you don't want the other people thinking that you have become different. All of a sudden you've gotten brand new, and all of a sudden you think you're better than them. Forget what people think. They don't have to live your life. Their life, your life is not given to them; it's given to you. And find these people. You can't find the people. You can't get access to them. You can always get access to what they wrote, their books. You could also always get access to what the products that they put out there, and how they're talking, and and you can learn from others through their experiences. But never get so hung up on other people's experiences and other people's way of living that you forget how to live yourself, that you forget that you have a purpose to you. You are just as important as Elon Musk. You are just as important as FitzgeraldStephens. You're just as important as the President of the United States, the governor of your respective state. You're just as important as anyone. Title don't mean crap. I mean, God, if we could just get that through our eyes, and get that through our eyes, and get that in our heart. Titles don't mean crap. How are you known? Do you love yourself? The other people love you. The other people respect you. You respect yourself. Are you running or even crawling to get to your goal? Are you not quitting? Are you willing to make? Are you willing to make such changes in your life? It's impossible for you to remain the same. Do you have that fighting spirit? Do you need someone to help you recharge that fighting spirit? Everything can be achieved by simply you desire, going after it, making change to get it. Now, there's really nothing more to say. There's really nothing more I can add to it. But only thing I just ask you guys, to just do, consider your ways. Consider your ways. Consider your ways. That's a scripture you're going to find in the book of Haggai. And you put in much, but you put it in a bag with holes in it. A bag with holes in it. You first got to repair the holes. You first got to repair the holes before you start putting your treasure in. And how do you repair the holes? I like myself. I believe myself. God loves me. I'm blessed. I'm a blessing to others, and people are a blessing to me. Good things happen in my life. I'm expecting greatness. I'm a winner. I don't lose. I don't care about circumstances. God is bigger than my circumstances. God is even bigger than me. God is bigger than my fears. God is bigger than everything that comes against me. God is bigger than the spiritual enemies that are coming against me, and He can overcome that. All I got to do is speak it out of my mouth, believe it in my heart, and walk towards it with my feet. That's all you have to do. Now, once you start becoming that person, you got to remain in that atmosphere. You're not meant to grow everywhere. There's a certain place for you. There's a certain tribe for you. There's a certain group around you. There's a certain occupation for you. There's a certain person supposed to be a major part of your life, and there are certain people who don't have any, should not have any access to your life. You got to identify who is who, and you got to walk with those who are willing to walk with you in a positive manner. And you got to discern when it's sometimes when they're even off. And you gotta ask yourself, do I want to remain like this? Is this how I want to end up my life? I mean, I wasted so much time already. Is this what I want to keep going? This is the way I want to keep going. I got good news for you. God can redeem your time. He can make up for all the years that are wasted and your choices have brought you to the point. He can make up for all that years. But how can he make it up to you if you're living in self-condemnation? How can he make it up to you? You feel like you're not worthy. How can he make it up to you? You see yourself as a failure. How can he make it up to you if you're not willing to make the change, to move in the direction that he's telling you to move? How can he? He loves you so much that he's not going to circumvent your will. But once you decide that I'm going to be great, once you decide that I'm going to be a better person than I am today than I was yesterday, then look for things that come into your life that's going to help you achieve that statement. Look for things just to happen in your life. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me why. I live this. There are times, but no one else has to beat me up and do anything like that. Sometimes I do an excellent job at it myself. Well, that has never served me. It's a false humility. It's a false humility. It's a strong sense of pride. Who are you to discount what God has created. God created you. Who are you to tell him he made a mistake by creating you? Who are you to think, that you are a mistake? Who are you to think that you're not worthy enough, that you're not worthy to have a good, abundant, radiant life and all that comes from you? When he created you and he gave you life, you didn't give it to yourself. Therefore, you don't have no right to take it. Your purpose is to give life back. Give life to yourself first, and give life to others. Now, what you want to do is just simply decide that in order to do what you need to do, you're going to change into something who you are not yet. Just start moving towards it. Start embracing it. Start elevate yourself, and pretty soon, you'll be elevated. You'll be elevated by God and elevated in other people's eyes. But see yourself. See yourself right now. Get a vision in your mind. You want to go to a certain place, or whatever that place is be. You want to spend some time there. Maybe you even want to live there. See yourself as if you're already doing it. See yourself as you're already walking in the streets of the town that you want to be in. See yourself walking there. You see yourself as a beautiful man and woman, dressed immaculate, speaking well. See yourself going in a room that people are there to celebrate you. See it, dream it, taste it, feel it, expect it, move towards it. That's the change that's going to bring about the changes you want in your life. No one has that power but you, and you alone. God bless you all. I hope you guys have a very, very good day. I got to get out and run some errands, but I want you to remember this. You are important. You are important, whether you feel like it or not. Someone loves you, someone values you, someone honors you, someone wants to help you, whether you feel like it or not. Someone is praying for you. Someone has prayed for you. No, God can raise up people anywhere in the world who don't even know you that can specifically pray for you. To be extraordinary. Thank God for the helpers. You have your angels. You have your angels that you can command. Are you opening up your mouth and commanding them? Are you giving them assignment? Are you going out there telling them to fight off the enemies that are fighting you? Are you telling them to cause good things to happen in your life? Are you loyal to God? Are you loyal to His way of doing things? Why don't you try that? Because your way of doing things have brought you where you are right now. Do you like the fruit? If you don't, change. If you do like the fruit, change where you can get more fruit. You said you already got enough and you cool. That's one of the most selfish statements you can ever make. How about other people? They're not cool. How about helping them get some? Those who want it, those who are willing to meet the requirements for it. You guys take care of yourself. I certainly care about each and every one of you. I care about my subscribers. I care about the people who take time to listen to me and support me. I care about that very much, and I'm thankful for that. But more importantly, I just care about you because you're a human being. You're God flesh. You're a God breathing human being. You have your concerns, your want, and your desires, and I want you to get them, provided they're good, provided they're righteous, provided they're holy, provided that they serve other people in addition to yourself. We thank you guys for tuning in. Have an awesome day. I'm FitzgeraldStephens, and I appreciate every one of you.